H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And today, ladies and gentlemen, today is Thursday, Baby Friday. We call it Baby Friday because we're not aired on Friday. And it's going to be a good day today. Interesting day. I need you to text, tag, and tell somebody. For real. For real. You know how they said, for real, for real. I need to hear from some people. I need to hear from some people today. You know what I'm saying? I need to hear about this draft. I got some interesting draft stuff that nobody probably would have this information. And some trying to figure out how much I can give to y'all. But what's up, everybody? Share the show. Come on now. Let's hold up. I haven't shared it. My bad. Hold on, y'all. Listen. Y'all know I'm not going to ask y'all to do something that I haven't done. So just give me 1 second here, and let me get to sharing myself. Robert, what you doing, man? You can't do that. This is gonna be epic. I got some stuff for y'all, man. I'm just trying to see how to get it out. Y'all, I told y'all every day I have this dilemma on this show. Uh, every day, do I talk about what's trending? Or do I talk about what's not trending, but need to be talked about? Every single day. Every single day, Gina. I shout out to let me shout out to the people. I'm starting five. We got Big Coach. We got Extra Eyes Media. We got the Panther Network. We got Daryl Anderson. We got Ivan Petty Jr. But we got Miss Gina Lofton in there. Miss Gina, I'm glad you're here. I'm good. Don't you go nowhere. Hold your spot right there. Hold your spot. Hold your spot. Gina, somehow I'm figuring some things out, Gina. I It's, just on the golf course the other day, and I was talking with the gentleman, Monty Williams and Coach Hardaway, and they were just talking about the people who are on these shows now. The former players, and everybody got a show, and they're not happy with a lot of the way a lot of these shows are going, and you know they just not happy with them. And to each his own. Yeah, no, they're not happy with it. But the NBA draft was last night. Uh, interesting, interesting, interesting. Uh, I've watched most of it. I was listening to it. I ain't gonna tell you no why I was going on the first hour and some. I was on practicing. I was on the golf course practicing. I was, I love to be outside, and in the evening, I was just out there. I just like to be out there. You know what I'm saying? So, hold on. So I didn't see, but I went back and what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, hold on. I'm supposed to be doing something. Supposed to be sharing it. Yeah, I'm sharing it with my YouTube people. Hold on 1 second. Just give me a second. I ain't gonna be long. But I just, first of all, I want to hear what y'all got to say about the NBA draft. I see. I want to hear because I don't want to form your opinions. Y'all got to understand. I got my stuff already. Did anybody watch the NBA draft last night? If you did, give me your stuff. Man, Dylan Harper's mama is beautiful. Okay. All right. Shout out to Dylan Harper's mama. She's beautiful. Okay. What else? Anybody else? Gina, did you see it? Share the show. Text, tag, tell somebody. I got a lot of stuff about this thing. I got a lot of stuff about everything. Y'all already know I got stuff, but I just want to hear from y'all. Brian Boatwright, did you see the draft last night? Eric Harrison, did you see the draft last night? What did you think? What did y'all see? What did y'all see? Tell me what you saw. Albert Pettit Jr., did you see anything? Thaddeus Moody, what did you see? From the extreme heat up in the Windy City, what did you see, Thaddeus Moody? Somebody talk to me. Daryl Anderson, did you see it? Extra Eyes Media, did you see it? Y'all talk to me. I need somebody to bring a brick today. I use the brick as a metaphor. When we come in, we're building something here. I want somebody to bring something. Edgecombe's story was great. Why was it great? Because he came from nothing? No one on this planet should come from nothing, rich as this planet is. But I am glad. And ladies and gentlemen, he's from Bien-Aimé, the Bahamas. The reason I know about Bien-Aimé so well is that's where Adam Clayton Powell was living in the later part of his years. Matter of fact, that's why he got sick and they flew him in. He died in Miami's hospital because it's so close to the Bahamas. But that's the place that the government talking about, he done bought all of this nice property down. Man, the man lived in a little hut down there in Bien-Aimé, and his yacht was a little old bitty boat that he went out and fished in. But y'all, one of these days I'm gonna give y'all that history. But you're saying his story was great. Okay, what was that about Houston picking the number one pick? They had the number one pick already. And they had already, that was part of the trade for Kevin Durant, Brian Boatwright. They had the number one pick from Phoenix, and they gave it back to Phoenix. They just, all they did was drafted him, and then because they had the pick and just gave him, they agreed to draft him, and it was Phoenix pick because they gave it back for Kevin Durant. He said, I also noticed the amount of French players. Didn't I get on this show and talk about the French yesterday? I'm going to talk about it again today. Did I get on there on this show and talk about what the French basketball is doing? I'm going to talk about it again today. I tried to tell y'all, somebody come up there, homeboy, I know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all, when I come out with convictions, I didn't research this stuff, man. I don't play with this stuff. Doug said, Doug Beretta, where you come from? Doug, I'm sorry. Now, Doug, I can't. Bogue Beretta. He said the Euros players will be the majority of the draft in 2030. I don't think so. I disagree with that because America's coming back. America's coming back. He said, I got sick of the players disrespecting Monica Nutt by saying the word man. Good word. Let's go there. We're going to go there. That is Moody. Let me click that one. Bogue, I'm going to click yours in case y'all want to talk about it. I watched it late last night. I can't say I knew anything about anything. I like that. Shanquetta, what's up? I love what you sent me. I've been, I've seen that about 4 or 5 times, but thank you. First time I saw that many college freshmen drafted so early. Absolutely. It's history. I'm gonna talk about that. That's a good one. H. Bailey refused to work out for any of the team and still went for. Is that normal? Yes, it's normal because he's that talented. Talent, man. They don't care about all that stuff. If you talented enough, we're gonna talk about that too. I'll put that on. Share your post. Not sure if you read it. Yes, I did. I did read it. But I've read that a million times. I didn't have to read that. I said that on the show. A lot of that stuff I talked about on the show already. Before Matt Barnes said it, Shanquetta. So you just got to watch the show a little bit more. And maybe I got to get somebody to Extra Eyes Media. Maybe I got to get somebody to just pick out clips so we can. So my words can then can be on social media. Extra Eyes Media, man. I need you. I need those extra eyes. I don't lack In football, they do it to Monica. They do it to Elisa Salters. They do it to white women. They do it to. I don't like the fact that this new generation, they don't understand how when they in front of the camera, they used to saying man, 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 and nothing against them. They just it's just habit. Man, I'm just this, man, I'm just man. But you got to recognize like this little I need your extra eyes meeting. Um, we got to understand, we got to train our kids in that area too. Homeboy, when you get up there, Dylan Harper. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play it. It's just in case y'all don't know what he's talking about. I'm not gonna play all of them, but watch this.
Number 2 pick, Mom Maria, brother Ron. You told me a few minutes ago you were just ready to get drafted and you had a bunch of emotions. Now that you've been drafted, what are you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling everything, man. All the emotions mixed in one bucket. From crying to laughing to being happy, everything, man. Just feel everything, man. I'm excited to get ready. I'm excited.
Maria, he talks often about how important you have been and the entire family to his basketball journey. What has gotten him here?
His flat-out love for the game, his determination, his humility, and just his hard work, day in, day out.
You're headed to San Antonio, an organization that boasts the last 2 rookies of the year.
That's what he's talking about. Man, 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 man. Yeah, man. Young fellas, y'all got to stop that. Monica McNutt, Lisa Salters, and no woman is a man. I know, but I know if technically a woman is a man with a womb, that means womb man. But you can address her better, and the reason I know you can, because this young man here did. Watch this.
What a long shot of a journey, to use your words, Cedric. But now you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the next step to continuing to prove yourself the way you have so far?
To keep getting better.
Did y'all hear that? Yes, ma'am. Did y'all hear Cedric Coward? Yes, ma'am. Then when somebody asked me who was my surprise of the draft, and I told them that's who that guy, that's what I'm talking about. Watch this. Let's go watch it again.
What a long shot of a journey, to use your words, Cedric. But now you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the next step to continuing to prove yourself the way you have so far?
To keep getting better, to take every day just the exact same as I have, keep embracing the process, embracing the journey, and giving my all to the game of basketball.
You seem so matter of fact. Will you stop, let your shoulders down, savor, and realize the improbability of what you've accomplished tonight?
Kind of both. It's not time to let the shoulders down. It's time to keep the foot on the gas. Time to keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, just letting you know, I'm not playing. I'm just saying this is how we can be. You follow me? Share the show, everybody. This is how nothing to knock on other kids, but they so nervous and they're a little younger than Cedric. Not much younger. But I see it in football. I see it everybody. Man, I'm just, and that's the way they talk in their defense. But I'm just trying to get them, when you have the, when you're being blessed enough to be put in front of the camera, we got to act accordingly. We should. And that's one of my biggest things that I don't like. I told people about this Cedric Coward guy months ago on this show. Months ago, I told them. I said, this kid came from D3. He gonna be the surprise of the draft. Months ago. I wish you can go find it. It's the way these kids talk. And Doug, we got to stop them from talking like that. Why didn't Ace Bailey want to go to Utah? Ace Bailey and the people around him put demands. Well, I want to go on the East Coast. I want to go here, 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 here. My brothers and sisters, you can't do that. Somebody called me this morning. Well, man, when Peyton Manning and John Elway, he ain't Peyton Manning, he ain't John Elway. I told y'all comparison is the thief of joy. I mean, a smart man called me this morning and said this. Well, Robert, Ace Bailey ain't the Mannings. Ace Bailey ain't Elway. Elway could have went play baseball. What this boy gonna go do? You don't in the NBA, you might get traded at any time. You can't go and tell people where you want to play. You want a 4-year deal, a 4-year rookie deal, and you might get traded anywhere. How can you think you can go and tell somebody where you going? You the employee. You ain't even no employee. You just a commodity. You're an asset right now. You're draft capital. Son, get your way in, build your leverage. You don't have leverage. First of all, shouldn't have did that. But that shows how talented he is. I went back and looked at him in high school. I didn't like him in college, but in high school, oh my goodness. But ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, it matters who represents you. I know y'all think with any age, it matters. Just like it's good doctors and good nurses and good everything. Whatever you do, Doug, whatever you do, Shanquetta, whatever. Some of us are better than other ones. Y'all got to treat this like it's brain surgery. You want to go get the brain surgery, just work on your brain. So you want to get the best agent to work in your behalf. You want to get the best team. You want to assemble yourself. All you got to do is go watch the owners of the team. They're surrounded by the best. I don't care what. Ladies and gentlemen, a young teenage man gonna go where he's supposed to go if he got the right guidance behind him. The problem is we got a bunch of grown ass men who doing stuff that these kids telling these grown ass men to do. These grown ass men kissing these kids behind. That's the problem. And like I say, it don't just happen in Houston, it happens all over. How do you know that kid is a black kid? I understand, but you don't understand in the beginning, Dirk. He said what cities he want. He had a list of cities he wanted to go to. Who does that? I've never did that. You can thrive as a black kid in Utah. People said that about Charles Woodson. Why, Robert, why he leave Oakland? Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Why would you let him leave Oakland and go to Green Bay? He's a black man. Guess what? Charles, we going to Green Bay. We getting away from all that old N-word stuff. Let's go to Green Bay. Went to Green Bay. Build a legacy. Won a Super Bowl. Settled in. Found a wife. Not in Green Bay, but the city was so calming for him. Learned how to play the piano. Because He had people around him that put him in a place he can thrive. He could go to Utah and shoot up all the damn balls and do whatever, be rookie of the year in Utah. And then build your whatever you, and then move. Dude, there ain't but 30 of these teams in the world. You can't go and say where you want to play. I want to play here. I want to play here. I want to play on the East Coast. And guess what they do? When you said that, if you wanted to, just shut the hell up. Some people, y'all, the most important thing you can do is pull that bottom lip up to that top lip and just close it. And don't say nothing. And say nothing. He wanted to go on the East Coast, and where did they send him? To Mormon land. Shut up. Don't let everybody know what's going on. Do y'all watch The Godfather? Don Corleone got mad at his son, Sonny. They're in a meeting. Sonny was supposed to be quiet. Godfather's talking to Sollozzo. And then Sonny bust in with his opinion. His dad told him when everybody left, ladies and gentlemen, with all that stuff you playing around with them girls, it's messing up your brain. Don't ever let nobody know outside of the family what's on your mind. That move that he ran his mouth in that meeting got his daddy shot. Because they wanted to kill him to get the daddy out of the way so they can talk to him because they know he'll go for the deal. Loose lips sink ship. Shut up. Yo, this NBA is a business. You got 30 billionaires running this thing. They not going to let no little snot-nosed ass boy tell them where they going to go. You want to go to the East Coast? Okay, we're going to send you to the snow. You can have player empowerment. It's okay. He ain't got no power yet. He ain't done nothing. He didn't even. Hold up, y'all. They was what? What was their record in college? I got it somewhere. Two guys that got picked in the lottery, they couldn't win 17. They was what, 16 and 17 and 17? I don't know what they were. 16 and 8. That's what their record was in college. He ain't done nothing. Don't be quiet. Get you somebody, instead of somebody who just been giving you money, get you somebody who can take care of your business. Because this NBA is a business. And ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, I ain't mad at Ace. I love Ace. You know why I love Ace? Show you why I love Ace. I'm finna put it up on the bar. Let me show you why I love Ace. That's Ace with one of my best friends, the guy who been making my suits for 20, 30 years. That's Ace with one of my best friends. From Chicago, lives in Memphis. CJ Custom Clothers. He's been on the show. He made Jimmy some stuff and me. Been making my stuff for maybe might be 30 years, y'all. I don't know. You know the first thing I said, why he got all that damn jewelry on? That's right before they got it. Hold on. And he also had Jeremiah Fields. This is my dude. He said he's going to come on the show next week. That's Jeremiah Fields if you saw him last night. That's CJ right there. That's my dude. So I'm not talking about Ace. I'm talking about, listen, I'm using this. Y'all see, what y'all got to understand about me in this show, I'm leaving a digital footprint. where people in the future can have this and listen and say, wait a minute. Oh. I don't be weird, but yeah, you know, y'all with y'all comments on the screen, okay. I know what I'm talking about, y'all. I got 30 years in this stuff. I don't care what nobody else did. I got 30 years in this stuff. So when I come and tell you, if I tell you a duck can pull a truck, the problem, you better pull that duck up to that truck. Hold on for 1 second. I done got hot in here. It's getting hot in here. So take a... Y'all, I'm watching Ace. And just be quiet. You want to go to the East Coast? Okay. You should have found some East Coast teams that's saying, look, man, I'm guaranteeing you. Y'all, Philadelphia was East Coast team, and they had the number 3 pick, and they did not pick it. You think Daryl Morey going? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all, because I'm, you know. Thank you, Dirk. I know it. See, Dirk, and I'm trying to, y'all know how I am. I don't want to talk about nobody. But we got to choose better the people that are around us. If a kid come out of this city and get drafted, if his parents don't call me and ask me something, then they deserve every damn thing they get. There's no way when you have these resources, you should ever be in a bad position as a professional athlete. Football, basketball, baseball, whatever. It's no excuse. But when somebody sent me this and he said, Robert, did you realize the first draft picks, all the first draft picks, Robert, they were saying man to Monica McNutt. It don't make no sense. And I know some stuff that I couldn't tell you about his representation. I know some stuff that but I'm not trying to hurt the kid. The kid gonna figure it out. Yes, Mount Vernon got 4 dudes drafted in the first round. Are you surprised? That's not a hell of a feat. I bet that's not. I know it might be impressive to you, but that's not impressive. That's what people go to Mount Vernon for. Tell me when they get all 12 of them drafted in the first round at the same time. I'll have that many guys on the team. Then that'll be a feat. Them dudes that was going to get drafted, if they had went to Bel Air High School, they'd have went to West Side. Them guys was going to get drafted. So saying Mount Vernon got 4 dudes drafted in the first round, that ain't saying really much. You follow me? Some things we celebrate, that ain't nothing to celebrate. All them dudes came from somewhere else. They was going to be pros if they never went to Mount Vernon. That's what the point I'm trying to. But, ladies and gentlemen, last night, it was the 75th anniversary of the first black player being selected in the NBA draft. Chuck Cooper, Earl Ward, Matt Sweetwater Clifton, these 3 pioneers in the league, first black players who 75 years ago made history. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you how. You know how I watch the draft. I watch the draft different. I watch the draft different. I look at the tables. I want to look to see what these people tables. I watch the draft and I look to see who are the women at the table. Yes, the women are the women, the mamas. Who the women's? The girlfriends. They control this stuff. The women. I don't know the dynamics of the Harper family, but them kids always talking about what their mama done did. They don't never bring up the dad unless somebody mention the dad. And Dirk, you can help us out with that, or you can text me or whatever. He said that is history that the players don't know, and the NBA will celebrate them all next season. Absolutely. Without no Earl Lloyd and Chuck Cooper and Matt Sweetwater Clifton, Wemby, you'll still be in France. VJ Ed, you'll still be down there without no air conditioning and running off a generator. But when I look at the draft, I watch to see who the women are around the table. And shout out to Nico, because y'all been tearing his head off. Not y'all, but the people out here. He built arguably the best front line in the NBA. You got Cooper Flagg, you got Anthony Davis, you got Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford. They just extended it. And guess what? And if Kyrie returns to form, now they got to find a stop-gap point guard. I think they're gonna try to get Chris Paul or Malcolm Brogdon just to keep us afloat. I said us then. Just to keep, if Nico there, I'm there. Just to keep us afloat. And then I was just thinking about y'all. Well, I was watching the draft. It was some there. A lot of black agents there. Whole lot of them. But they work for companies now. They ain't got their own firms. They work for companies now. They're just employees now. But a lot of them was there. You just had to know what to look for. A lot of them was there. Con Knipple. He's in a rude awakening when he get to the Hornets locker room. You got Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, and LaMelo Ball as your vets. That boy gonna be like Chet. I can see it coming. Poor little boy. No, James Harden will never come back to the Rockets, Madonna. Ever. Ever, ever. No, that's not happening. Don't listen to that. No, he good. Man, this little boy Con Knipple, I hope in a few months he might be Chet. He gonna be talking about he like oxtails and collard greens. The mom was Dylan Harper, coach for most of his life. I know. I don't care. If my daddy is one of the ain't but 4,000, almost 5,000 of y'all, Dirk and Minifield, whoever playing it. If my dad is one of them, I'm gonna talk about my daddy. I know the mama coached them. But they always talking about their moms. The older boy, Ron Jr., and I just don't understand it. Even the dad didn't. When he was there, he didn't go. I know he don't like to talk because he got a stuttering problem. But it's something there. And it might not be nothing there. That's just the way they family dynamics work. But I was thinking about it. I know the mom. Hold on. I'm going to show you how much I know the mom was a coach. Y'all need to share this show. Watch this. What her name? What's the boy? Let me show you the mom. I already got there. Watch this.
You know, they're playing it, I'm coaching it. It's a family affair, and that's how pure it is in our family.
If you're a Harper, the family business is basketball. Ron Harper Sr. is a 5-time NBA champion. Ron Harper Jr. helped put Rutgers basketball on the map and is carving out an NBA career of his own. But up in Ramsey, there's 2 more Harpers who are now at the forefront of New Jersey high school basketball.
Dylan is very focused, I think a lot because of Maria's guidance.
Most days, they're mother and son, talking about life, friends, and homework. During basketball season, however, it's coach and player, and they're talking plays and strategy. Dylan Harper.
Oh, did y'all see that?
Dylan is
See,
very
if a
focused.
daddy had a
lot,
did that, the little boy would
because
probably
of
snatch
Maria's
away
guidance.
from him. He ain't snatched away from mom. Look, mama saying, hold your little, hold. If a daddy, he'd have been mad. Look at him, watch him. Boy, them moms, y'all, that's why I love you moms. Watch it.
Their mother and son.
Watch that
talking
comment.
about life, friends, and homework. During basketball season, however,
Come on,
it's
sit
coach
on
and
down,
player,
man. Sit on
and
down.
they're talking plays and strategy.
Sit behind on down.
Dylan Harper took the Garden State by storm during a breakout junior season at Don Bosco Prep. His mother is Maria, who played Division I basketball and is a former high school head coach of her own. As one of Bosco's top assistant coaches, she's there for every twist and turn.
I think it's really easy for me because, when my mom's around, she's not just, a mom to me, she's a mom to all my teammates. So, she's a mom, a coach, she helps all of us succeed.
Dylan definitely is getting the more calm mom, but all in all, like at the end of the day.
Unbelievable. Somebody texted me. Somebody called me from San Antonio. Y'all hold on. Can y'all hold on a second? Watch this. Hello? 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 Thought it was somebody important, so they'll call me later. Shanquetta said she was thinking the same thing. His mom played too. I'm glad I played that. So y'all, his mom played basketball too, but it's just odd. I don't know, and it might be what they call it, much to do about nothing, and but it's unique. It is unique. It's unique. Damn sure he didn't get his height from his mom. No, he did not. Yeah, y'all stop. See, and then y'all hold up. Charlotte not only got Con Knipple, and I was waiting on somebody to bring it up, Liam McNeely. So they got 2. But both of them can shoot the damn lights out the basketball. This was some great move by Charlotte Hornets. See, Michael Jordan had been on it, run this team, it wouldn't have happened. He said, as a father who played and coached their sons, and the pressure to perform with the dad who played is enormous. So having a mom changes the dynamic. Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay. Having a mom around, it just changed the dynamic. Keep a lot of heat off. But I still don't understand why the kids always talking about their mom. Come on now, got to get a daddy something now. You don't do it. Y'all don't do nothing for us. What's up, Robert Young? Y'all don't do nothing for us on not Groundhog Father's Day. So at least give us something now. Yeah. Shanquetta, I didn't see that. I heard about that one. So I can't talk about it that much because I didn't see it. But y'all, Charlotte Hornets was the worst shooting team in the league. They done got 2 of the best shooters in the draft, Liam McNeely, and I don't want that to be overlooked. I want y'all to understand that. But that still got to me about this Harper family. It's maybe the dad just said, "Okay, I'm gonna take a back seat." I don't know, but it's kind of odd to me. Just odd. Back to Ace Bailey and his camp. They wanted to be somewhere other than Salt Lake City. But let me tell you something. If you're the Utah Jazz and you have been evaluating this young man for years and you sincerely believe not only is he the best prospect available, he is clearly in your mind. Listen to me, y'all. Forget all that other stuff. Ace Bailey is a dude. So all of that stuff you be hearing, he ain't this and he, we can talk about Ace Bailey as a dude. I want him on my team. But it's If I'm Utah, you got to take the best prospect available and take him. And guess what you do to him? You move him out to Salt Lake City, then you figure the other things out. Y'all got to realize he's a teenager. You feel me? Teenagers don't really want to know what they want and know where they want to live and what's. But he don't know. He ain't never been there. He going by what somebody's saying. Get into Utah, make him a big part of your organization out there, Danny Ainge, and they're gonna have D Wade there to mentor him because D Wade is a part owner out there, and I think things will work out fine. But one thing I liked about this draft, I guess I liked about it, it was refreshing to see them give my partner Richard Johnson his flowers last night. Well, why do your partner? Why were you at the draft? Herb, you should have been at the draft then. I didn't see what they said about Rich. I didn't see that part. I haven't went back to seeing that part yet, so I don't know what they said about your partner. Joe Dumas did well for New. Let me tell you something. Joe Dumas, he drafted Fears and Derek Queen, Thaddeus Moody, but he gave up his pick for next year. Dude, you need all the damn picks you can get. You can't be giving up your assets. Utah has a dude and he would play well, but he still has grown-ups running it. He still has those same grown-ups running his business. I know. And he got to grow up. And sometimes when you grow up, you get these Zion Williamson just changed agents. He went to Bill Duffy's agents. Whoever that damn thing was dealing with, Zion said, hey, I got to change. I'm going to be, well, I ain't going to be out the league. Well, I will be out the league. They'll just pay me to go away. It ain't H-Town, but if you got bread, you good. Yes, you got bread, you get, yes. I lived in Utah for years. And let me tell you something. First time I ever skied was in Park City, Utah. One of my favorite places. I'd love to go back there and play. I love it. I don't know about living there, but I loved it when I went to the Black Ski Summit there. These some good comments, y'all. Ace Beta would be fine as long as his Wi-Fi signal is strong. It's a video game. There you go, right there. There you go, right. Herb just told you. Young, there was an emotional draft. It was a lot of crying in this draft, y'all. This the most crying I've seen. Man, Joe Wolf, whole damn family was crying. What the hell they was crying about? The little boy who else? Yeah, that's Joe Wolf. Wolf, they was just crying. Everybody was crying. Did y'all see the crying? Playing basketball anywhere in America is better than playing. You're absolutely correct, Dirk Minifield. Playing basketball in America is better than playing anywhere else. Absolutely. But it was a lot of crying, man. I mean, Dylan Hopper was crying. Ace was crying. I didn't see. I just saw the first pick. I haven't went through everybody yet. I'm gonna go through everybody because we're gonna talk about this next week a little bit more. Because it's some stuff I want to analyze and talk about the draft. But it was cool seeing the emotions of the players. Like VJ Edgecom. We would look back and said this was a Cooper flag draft, but he was a prize. He went number 1 overall. But like Jay Billers said, as long as he can stay healthy, he'll have a good career. We got to realize San Antonio did pretty well. They got Dylan Harper, the best pick and role guard in the draft, a natural scorer. They got him at number 2. But I'm going to tell y'all, remember this name. The number 14 pick they got, this Brian Carter dude. I went and watched some tape on him. See, I didn't watch Arizona play that much because I don't know. I don't like Arizona. But I went and watched some synergy on this Carter Bryant dude. Yeah. He's a 3-and-D guy. He pretty decent. And I thought it was, like I say again, I thought it was interesting. Uh, I know the VJ story, he has come through a lot, yes. But I was thinking about um, what Utah did, though. They weren't deterred from taking Ace Bailey because he's a big-time shot maker with a ton of potential. You can't pass on that. I know there was red flags, but he was so talented. You got to take him. Remind me of Beasley. Red flags. But he was so talented that they had to take him. Michael Beasley. You got to take that asset if you're Utah. Move the asset if you want to, but you got to take it. Excuse me, y'all. I was thinking about what else but later in the draft, y'all, we talking about Ace Bailey. They wind up getting Walter Clayton Jr. And y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all do me a favor. Go back and watch the draft if you taped it. Walter Clayton Jr. had a weird ass table. Something about that table wasn't right. They had your boy Rich Paul there. Just the baby mama with the tattoos there wearing the nose ring. So, just something about, y'all got to understand. I told y'all, I watched the table and I watched the women. Just some, and then the way he was interviewing, he talked so fast. Slow down, son. I know y'all didn't send him nowhere to get trained for this yet. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, mamas and daddies, before y'all, when y'all going to the draft, y'all need to call me. I'm gonna charge you, but y'all need to call me. You got to have him right before the draft because you know he gonna talk. You gonna know, y'all, he gonna go from one interview, this interview, to this interview, this interview. We got to make sure he's interview ready. He said, explain what assets do for team. Assets do for team. I'm gonna put it to you plain. Assets, the team who have hoarded the most assets in the NBA just won the championship. Because they can trade, all your asset is a chip. Now them second round draft picks, they just use them for anything. They just I don't know what the hell they use them for. But them first round draft picks, they're assets because you don't never know when you're gonna be the one. Who would have thought Dallas would have had this asset this year, the number one pick? I didn't. They had a 14% chance of getting it and got it. So it's these all draft. It's called draft capital. Being able and right now these people got, I think OKC got 20-some picks, man, in the next few years. OKC, who just won because what? They hoarded. They lost a lot. And they hoarded assets, and those assets turned into something. One of those assets turned into Jalen Williams. What they had enough assets to give away to get Paul George. Get rid of Paul George and send him to the dumbass Clippers to get Gilgeous-Alexander. So they had to have assets to do that. So having these drafts picks, assets. They not people yet, but they love to have them. And that's, I'm glad you said that. But you got, look, check this out. Utah has quietly got, watch this now, Ace Bailey, who can put it in the bucket, and Walter Clayton Jr. Actually, all you U of H fans, y'all remember Walter Clayton, who sent us home. You feel me? That Walter Clayton. They got him. So guess who got to go? That crazy ass dude. What's the dude they got out there? What's that guy that got out there always talking crazy to people? That went to Alabama. What's that dude's name? Somebody tell me that name. I forgot his name. Media training is necessary. Absolutely. It's necessary. Man, we gonna sit down and talk, man, because I'm gonna ask you some questions right now. And this is how you need to answer. Yo, this was a test. You got to have people prepare you for the test. I'm glad you said that, Herb. I'm replying to what Herb said up here. Media training is necessary. I know ain't nobody, Walter Clayton ain't went to not one media session. And all that main, we got to practice that. He said, Dirk said, that will change for the better because the NBA Europe will start and American players will gain value as they will need Americans to compete. That's the first time I heard that one. That's a good one. Colin Sexton, that's that one. I can't. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. The reverse of what the NBA is doing over here for the farm. Wow. But let me keep going. To all you short guards, hey, y'all. I know they be talking about y'all can't do this, y'all can't do that. But ladies and gentlemen, short guard. If you can shoot that thing, Jace Richard is a little dude, man. But if y'all let him get this left hand up, you might as well take your ass on the other end and get back. You take the ball out of the net. So he gave short guys some hope because he can flip that thing in there. Now, there's some guys that come from France and a couple of that little guard that came from France. Now, he can get past anybody. Can't shoot a lick. I'm going to back up off him. But if you got to be, yo, I just watched this NBA playoffs, man. Just it made me love basketball a little bit more. If people weren't watching this, they just don't like basketball. I don't know what the hell they like. This NBA this year, and then I'm gonna tell you what I like, y'all. Y'all got it's just the little subtle things, y'all. That a lot of people ain't gonna talk about, but y'all, I was watching Yannick Conan Niederhauser get drafted while sitting upstairs and then sprint down to the stage. It was the most wholesome thing you'll see. Watch this. I love this. I know I got it. Y'all, this is what Giannis did. Giannis wasn't invited to the draft. Giannis was sitting up in the top. And they said, come on down out of the stands, boy. You got drafted. Watch this. Hold up, y'all gotta look at the mama. Look at mama. Y'all gotta go. I told y'all, always look at the women. Watch mama. Mama on her phone, mad as hell. Look at mama. Mama saying, wait a minute now. I know we way up here, but when y'all gonna get my baby? He sharp too. I like his little outfit. No, his nice outfit. I shouldn't have said little. Never say that about nobody. See, I had to catch myself. Watch this. Watch mama. He's still here. Let's go. Give him a quick hug. Give him a quick hug? He got to go. I'm good? Yeah. I know. But we're going to remember what you said. Let's do Clippers at 30. Clippers at 30, okay? We're going to Clippers at 30. It's 30. There you go. Welcome to the NBA, young man.
With the 30th pick in the 2025 NBA Draft, the LA Clippers select Yannick Conan Niederhauser.
And he's going to my team.
Penn State University.
I love that one, y'all. I love that one. I love that one. I ain't gonna lie, that got me. That got me. That got me. I'm serious, y'all. Y'all got to understand what was going on, man. He wasn't even invited down there. The Heat didn't even work out. What is that? That is Moody. How come you didn't tell me about that little dude at Illinois? You talk about everybody else. That little dude from I got that. Hold up, Jaka Kunis. Robert Hatter got it. Jaka Kunis. Y'all, I got to get better at this. Jaka Kunis. Kasparus Jaka Kunis. Ladies and gentlemen, that boy. Hold up, what that boy said? That boy bad. That is Moody. Where you know you tell us about all them old Jubugs up there. Man, I went and watched some video on Jaka Kunis. Man, no wonder Pat Riley got his old ass up and was talking stuff in the thing. Because they didn't think they was going to get him. You ain't got to tell me he nice, Eric. Eric, hold up, Eric. You got to realize, if I talk about you, I done. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, y'all better just, I had to learn that name. I had to talk about that name. You know, I got to get good at this stuff. Because these people, these names, somebody might call me. Somebody might call me. And I might go, hey, as terrible as that ESPN broadcast last night, I could have been. The broadcast for ESPN was terrible last night. Terrible. Show you how terrible it was. It's just me. Hold up. Watch this.
So the Portland Trailblazers select Colin Cowherd here.
Colin Cowherd. Not Cedric Cowherd. Colin Cowherd.
This is a young man.
Hold on now.
So the Portland Trailblazers select Colin Cowherd here. This is a young man with the ultimate bet on yourself story.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to get myself right. But Jaka Kunis, Miami Heat so glad to get that boy, man. And he gonna play immediately. What you talking about, that is Moody? I didn't know Ace Bailey dad. Who is Ace Bailey daddy? Who is Ace Bailey daddy that played for U of H? I don't know him. Who is it? Don't just tell us. Who is it? And I saw them Carter Bryant highlight. Hold on. Yo, Phoenix Suns. Larry Center Duke. Common Malawach. Watch this. With the 10th overall pick, ladies and gentlemen, the South Sudan native grew up in Uganda, is the first player from the NBA Academy Africa and the Basketball African League that was selected in the first round. Malawach. Y'all know what I remember about Malawach? Watch this, y'all. I hope y'all ain't eating that. Watch this. Ugh. Ugh. What did he eat? People keep saying Stephen A was killing him. I didn't know Stephen A was even on, but they told me he was on ABC. I didn't even know it. I'm glad I did know it. Houston Hoops got another one drafted. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up soon. Coming up soon. Hold up, man. Hey, man. This man, y'all, we can be talking about anything, man. This one dude gonna come up here and say something crazy all the time. U of H, that man just played on their team for a couple of sessions, man. Houston Hoop ain't had nothing to do with that boy. Getting to the y'all, let's stop doing it. Let's stop doing that for real. I'm looking for something that I had yesterday. Oh, here it is. Hey, Herb, he talking about Trey Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, get out your cute. Thank y'all. I see. Y'all see. Get out your cute. Get out your phones and go to this code down here to the right and join this football camp. It's coming on July the 4th. It's right around the corner next week. And go get exposure, but don't get exposed. Great skills camp. Go to the QR code, the HCL Exposure Showcase. This was part of the golf tournament that I was telling you about, but the golf tournament was going to be so hot, and people they just postponed it. They cared enough about your health and your safety, because I ain't gonna lie, I almost passed out on the golf course on Monday at John Lucas Golf Course tournament, and but this is a football camp next week, man. I can't wait to go out there and see these kids compete. But sign up, check in, 9 a.m. check in early in the morning. Great, you got who you got on there? You got Anea Smith, you got Layden Robinson, you got Jay Hunt, you got Isaiah Spiller, and you got Leon O'Neal Jr. You got pro athletes, pro NFL players. You know, this is the last time, because they're gonna have to go to camps a little bit later. So this the last. They give their camps around this time of month. It remind me, somebody come out and say, "Doug, you gonna be there?" I like that, Doug. Doug, thank you, man. Doug, see that? See, Doug, I didn't even know you had to be a part of it. But I want y'all to, go to that QR. I need you to be there. When people take out their time to do stuff like this, I need you to be there. It's gonna be a fee now. It's gonna be a fee. You got to pay now. With these exposure camps like this, you got to pay $150 and go check in. Okay? All right? Talk to you later. Doug, those your kids. Okay. But speaking of camps, I'm gonna get back to the NBA. Can I pivot? Because when I thought about the camp and I thought about what's going on, and I thought about this kid, I'm not trying to beat him up. I just want our kids to be like this. Doug. George Pickens, who used to play for Pittsburgh, he will not show up for his youth football camp in Pittsburgh, which is set before he was traded to Dallas. Even after the trade took place, he committed to going, but decided not to show up for the kids. Pat Friedman will step in as a guest, and other players expected to volunteer as well in this place. It's not a good look. Homeboy, I've heard some horrible things about you, but I ain't never came on this show and said nothing. HLC is who I've been working with for the last 10 years. I didn't know that, Doug. You ain't told me. Yeah, I love HLC now. Heaven Bound Christian League. Doug, absolutely. Doug, George Pickens. Let me read y'all something. George Pickens youth football camp. The people from the camp, they talking about it. Watch this. Thank you for your patience in regard to the George Pickens youth football camp scheduled for June 28th at Highmark Stadium. As many of you know, George Pickens was traded to the Dallas Cowboys on May 7th. Immediately following the trade, our team contacted George's representation to confirm whether he would still honor his commitment to the Pittsburgh event. We were prompted and assured that George would remain committed to the camp and intended to show up for the families who have registered. Based on that confirmation, we communicated this directly to the people via email and a text on May 9th. Unfortunately, of last week, True Edge has notified by George's team that he has since decided to walk back on his word to not show. Unfortunately, as of last week, they notified George's team that he has decided to walk back on his word, and there's no longer interest in attending the camp. They said, let us be very clear. We're deeply frustrated by this decision and the position he has placed on all of us. Our team is fully prepared to host the camp this Saturday because we were led to believe that George would follow through on his commitment. His sudden decision to back out now only reflects of a disappointment of lack of accountability, but also shows a disregard for families and children who were excited to meet him. We are incredibly disappointed by his actions, and his actions do not express the goals of True Edge, the people that's giving the event. That said, we're determined to make this event meaningful. The tight end for Pittsburgh, he decided to step in, and some more players. Ladies and gentlemen, who does that? Who does that? Because you get traded from Pittsburgh. You know, they do this every year. I'm getting back to the NBA draft. The NBA draft first round breakdown, you know, they're going to break it down by circuits. Who played on the circuit? But guess what? 13 Nike EYBL guys got drafted. 10 international players who didn't play on the EYBL. 3 independent, 2 Adidas, 1 Under Armour, and 1 Pro 16. I guess that's Puma. Those how the first round went. Ladies and gentlemen, I looked at this draft. I forgot what year it was. Somebody gonna tell me. It was a terrible ass draft. Not this year. Y'all just watch this. I should have put it up on the board. Number 1 pick was Anthony Bennett, Cleveland. Number 2 was Victor Oladipo. Number 3 was, what's his name? Otto Porter Jr. Cody Zeller, Alex Lynn, Nerlens Noel. All these dudes out the league. Ben McLemore, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Trey Burke out the league, and C.J. McCallum. Those were the top 10 picks. This had to be the worst draft in NBA history right here. Do I need to put them on the screen so y'all can see them names? I need to repeat them again. Number 1 pick, Anthony Bennett. Nowhere to be found. Victor Oladipo, he trying to come back. I don't know where he at. He's trying to come back. Otto Porter, he out. Cody Zeller, I don't know where he is. Alex Lynn, you know, he said the crazy stuff, and they put him out the league. Nerlens Noel, he ain't never been worth, can't play dead in the Tarzan movie. Ben McLemore, you know he terrible. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, he just can't, wait a minute, he just came Well, he came from they traded him to Memphis. He going to Memphis. Trey Burke, he been gone. And CJ McCallum, they just traded him again to Washington Wizards. All backup players, only 2 All-Stars out of that draft. Wow. Who were the All-Stars out of that draft? Who the All-Stars out of that draft? Somebody find that draft for me. I want to know who the All-Stars is out of that draft. I saw that, man. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Let me keep going. I got to keep going. Yeah. Lando traded Caldwell Pope to Memphis. Let's see what else I got. Dirt. They said something. Hold up. About the NBA draft. They said this is the first time in the modern era in which the first 8 picks were college freshmen. What is considered the modern era of basketball? Then I went and looked it up. The modern era, like starting at the late 1990s and onwards. That's the modern era. I said, wow, I didn't know that. Then I saw something, y'all. I want to share all you Houston fans. I forgot to give y'all this. I skipped toward it. But they told me, and Dirk, you can help me. It was talking about KD is wanted by the Houston coaching staff for a long time and excited about it. Let me bring it up. I saw it somewhere. The Rockets. Watch this. Ain't that ironic? In this video, Jalen Green going to work. Hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all. I got to show that move. I got to show that move one more time. I'm sorry for turning it off too quick. Hold on, man. I didn't pick that up. Let's go. Let's go forward. Hold up. Y'all, it's a lot of connections. Now I connected some dots for y'all. Y'all got it? So let me give you some stuff, man. Some little tidbits, man, because you know how I am. My man CJ was there making the suits, and in case you just got on the show, one of the guys who make my clothes for the last, I think, about 30 years. CJ Custom Clothes. He did Jeremiah Fields clothes. You notice Jeremiah Fields right there don't have all that jewelry on, right? Notice right there, right? He got him right. Because I think they were next door to each other, Fields and Ace Bailey. So he got him right. Then he got Ace right. Ace, you got to clean up your room, man. You can't have that. My folks, my daughter always tell me, like, when I be on the road with TSU, and my daughter said, make sure your bed made up before you come on that show. So get all this stuff off your bed next time. But that's CJ, the guy who make my clothes. So he was just talking about Ace Bailey's suit almost didn't make it. Because I'm asking him a question. I said, first of all, why is Jeremy Fields got all of that mess around his neck? And he said, well, a jeweler was in his room and just gave him stuff to put on. He takes it off. He didn't buy it. He takes it off and, give it back to the jeweler. Do that so them guys can buy stuff in the future or now. They'll let him wear it. But what happened, why CJ was so mad at the jeweler, he said, look, player, if you're going to get him all of this white gold stuff around his neck, at least have the decency to have a white gold or platinum watch. You got all of this stuff, y'all. I'm gonna watch how out of pocket he was. He got all of this stuff. If y'all, CJ, let me see, can I find a picture and put it up there for you? If you go look at what is his name, Fears. He got all this silver stuff around his neck, but he had a gold watch on. That's country tacky. And just so man, I got to show it to you. Y'all probably seen what his name? What his name? Fears. What is Jeremiah Fears? I don't know why I call him CJ Fears. Hold up, I'm gonna try to find something so y'all can know what I'm talking about. So y'all can. So if you're a young fella out here, out of pocket like that, y'all can say, man, no, player, put some on. Have your jewelry matching. Don't have, even if you have even the buckle on your shoe, can't be, if you got a silver watch on, you can't Jeremiah Fears. I'm trying to find a picture of him. Yeah, the people had he had all that. Oh yeah, it was just gaudy. I'm trying to find a good picture of it so I can show you. If I can't, y'all just go find it yourself. Okay, hold on, I think I got it. Yeah. Man, they messed me up. Hold up. Need a stylist. Yeah. Well, what CJ told him not to wear it. But the jeweler and a stylist is two different people. But the jeweler, then he said he gave him the watch, but the jewelry he got to buy. Here it is, man. Oh, here it is. Boy, I got it. Watch this. Boy, this boy Bravo had it. It's just amazing. Hold on. I got to show y'all. Don't do this. Y'all, don't do this now. Hold up, let me label it so I can go back to it. Fears jewelry. Jewelry. Hold up. All right, I got it. So let me put it up on the screen. Let's see which way I'm gonna do it. Let me take it. Let me see. Can I take it? See what the stuff I go through for y'all. Let me put it up on the screen. Show you how not to let your kid do this, right? Look at it. Look at the watch. See what I'm talking about? Y'all see what I'm talking about? Just in case you didn't know. I know they don't know, but dirt, it's no excuse no more. CJ already told him not to do it, and he wore it anyway, because the jeweler didn't have no platinum watch. What he should have did is just not wear the watch or just not wear the jewelry. He from up there in Detroit, the Detroit area. Listen, I can't help him. He already gone. I'm trying to help the next generation. I'm trying to help our next guy. Now, his suit sharp as a dog. You know what I asked CJ? How the hell y'all using Gucci material? He said, Gucci sell that material so we can make a suit out of it. I like the suit. A little too much for me. I wouldn't have wore it. But he wrong for that. Okay? That's a foul. That's a foul. Hold up. I just looked up. That man says soulful. Stop it, man. That man says soulful. But yeah, that was messed up. But if you don't know, but Dirk said, if you don't know, you just don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna bring Jimmy in right quick, and we're gonna get out of you gotta have absolutely, you got to have the right team around you, man. You gotta understand, some of the team, you're right. Everybody don't know how to dress, man. Let's just get that right. Oh, he from Chicago. My bad. He's from Chicago. You're right. His brother played for East Lansing up there. No, he's right. He's from Chicago. Absolutely right. Brother went home for the summer and got shot. Sure is. He's from Chicago. I'm talking about Jeremiah Fears in in his we'll call it fashion faux pas at the jewelry. He had platinum colored jewelry and a gold watch on. And didn't nobody give him the memo. Jimmy, he wouldn't have walked out. Me and him been wrestling. Either the watch gonna go or that ugly ass jewelry gonna go. And Jimmy, you know, because people probably talk, they call it soulful capital of the world. Oh, Joliet is soulful too? That is, Jimmy. That is. I just want to let you see it. It's up there. Yeah, he was wrong for that. But if you don't know, you don't know. But
I mean, that's a nice piece of thread, though. I mean,
but guess who made the thread? CJ. That's why CJ made the thread. Hold up, Jimmy. Hold on. You didn't see that. I forgot you ain't been on. Hold up. See, hold up. That ain't it. Hold up. CJ had him. Now he ain't got no jewelry now. CJ said when he left out the room, the jeweler came in and gave him that jewelry. Right? So then, hold up. CJ, that ain't all he had, Jimmy. Look, CJ was working. Hold up. Let me get that off. CJ was working his butt off. Let me get him off the screen. Look who else he had. He had Ace. And I said, why Ace got all them rock-looking things on his suit? He said because the Louis Vuitton shoes he wearing, the Christian Louis Vuitton, the red bottom shoes he wearing, they had them little knots. So he wanted to. I said, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much. These dudes doing too much. But shout out to them guys for getting drafted last night, man. I love it. I love it. What you got, Jimmy?
man, we got coaching carousel going on around high school basketball, of course.
Tell me what's happening. I don't know nothing.
ABC was last week. It was a blast. A lot of people, it met expectations. On Monday, I went in before we had the difficulties and basically tried to lit the fire. And I'll summarize it this: coaches, if you want next year, understand something. There's going to be a big decision that has to be made with TABC, because the way that the calendar falls, Juneteenth is going to be on a Friday, which is a federal holiday, if I'm not mistaken. So that means there's not going to be an option for a live event on that particular weekend. So they're going to have to either pick the weekend before Juneteenth and or the weekend after Juneteenth in 2026. So a lot of people, and that's up to them. What they're gonna do, a lot goes into that stuff. You have to wait. They're probably going to have to wait and see what the NBPA Top 100 camp is going to do, because that has a big say in it. Because guess what? That's going to be a live. That college coaches can go to that as well. So you're not going to move, and I'm going to assume that if it's smart, Top 100 camp will probably go maybe in those weekdays in between, leading into Juneteenth. I'm just guessing. Now, my thing was this: high school coaches, if you want and you feel that the TABC should host one of those events for the boys in Houston and or San Antonio, then you guys have to collaborate. You guys have to speak up. That's only so much that anybody else, a third party, can do to fight your fight. That has to be an internal movement that has to be created. It can happen. And I gave you guys the scoop a while back. If Nike can do the girls EYBL in NRG Arena, then so can TABC. The city will make amends, and they will work with an organization of such in order to make it happen. Telling you. And the reason I told you, if you didn't hear it on Monday, I met with one of the longtime fixtures of the Sports Authority down in Houston. I met with him in St. Louis last week. And that's James Brown. And you Google that name, the dad and the son. They royalty down there with the visitors, with the Sports Authority and all the Visitors Bureau. But they're welcoming it. But it has to be the movement from you guys collectively have to band together, because somehow many of you all don't think it could happen. I remember that was once upon a time, you guys think, the first year that they had those live events, TABC declined to even put one on. And I met with Johnny Carter and Coach Rick Shirley at the state tournament that year. And I asked them why. And it's like, well, Jim, we just don't think we don't think that we'll be able to afford it. Like, in other words, they didn't see what they see now. They didn't. Sometimes when you're stuck on one side of the fence, you have no idea. And I'm like, Coach, I promise you that thing would be would fund the revenues generated from the TAB showcase. I told them that it would fund all your stuff. And next thing you know, somebody convinced them to do it. And now it ain't no turning back. And so that's a good thing regarding that. Also, want to give a shout out to Trey Austin. He's expected to be named the new head coach of Bush High School. Trey Austin led Westbury Christian to a few state titles about a decade ago. He was an assistant coach at Bel Air for a few years, then moved over to Travis for a few more years, and he finally got his certification. Got his certification maybe 2-3 years ago, and he wanted to wait till the right job came. Which Bush, you leave Fort Bend ISD. Well, you don't leave Fort Bend ISD. You leave one school in Fort Bend ISD, go to another. So that means your email address don't change. You don't have to go and do nothing else, but you got a different job. And now what? You're the HNIC once again. Shout out to Trey, man.
What was he at last year?
Travis High School. He was assistant coach for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of, he was at Bel Air before then. And speaking of Bel Air, I'm not sure if there's another coach in the city that has fingerprints on as many current head coaches, as Bruce Glover at Bel Air.
Explain to us why. Explain to us why. Give us some evidence of it.
Well, evidence, I shoot you a few names
Trey.
off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
Willie Pokey Patrick.
Yeah.
Was an assistant coach with him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He went on to be the head coach. He's been the head coach at Wheatley. He's been the head coach at St. Pius. He's been the head coach. Now he's the girls' head coach at Bel Air.
That's good.
The coach over at DeShannon Holmes at Channelview.
That's right.
He's assistant coach at Bel Air.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's a head coach at Channelview. Been a long-term assistant head coach.
Yeah.
Over there. The coach, the new coach at Nimitz right now. I think he was at Bel Air as assistant coach. What's his name? What's the young fella name? And y'all help me out on that. His name slipping my mind. He's a new head coach at Nimitz. He was at Bel Air. Man, it's a few more.
Okay. So he got a coaching tree.
Oh, another coach that was at Wheatley, played at TSU, light skinned, had a cup of coffee at Wheatley. He was assistant coach at Bel Air, played at TSU back in the last big fella, about 6'8". This was maybe 15 years ago. He was up under Glover. Man, it's a lot of them, man. He's got about 6 guys that's head coaches. So what Glover is doing is when they're coming there, he's letting them know, I'm gonna put you in position to be a head coach, and he's telling guys that, and and he has a couple of young guys there. One young guy is with the Houston Raptors organization. Shout out to Bobby Benjamin. Happy him today. Happy born day for Bobby Benjamin. I think he's 43 years old or something like that right now. But his co-coach or coach with the Houston Raptors.
Yeah, Nettie. Yeah.
What's his name?
Coach Nettie.
Coach Nettie.
Yeah.
And Coach Nettie is being groomed.
I like him.
He's on deck. Well, the thing about it is, a lot of these young guys, and it was funny because I spoke with Trey Austin yesterday, and he said, it's relationships, man. We can't say enough about this. His principal, right, from one of his former one of his recent jobs, the principal was in on the interview. The principal had a say in this job and him getting this new appointment at Bush High School. He said the principal told him, he said, you don't know this, but you've been interviewing for this job for the last 3 years. I've been watching everything you do. And I felt very confident. This was an open and shut case. He said, you were definitely first, the person to beat. And when Trey came in there for the interview process, he blew him away. But that's something you don't. What my point is, you never know who's watching you and what they're looking for. And so that was the thing, because Trey, and that marveled Trey Austin didn't hear that. He didn't realize that people are always watching or evaluating. So shout out to him, man. And
you see that question I put up on the board for you?
Oh, is Christian Gibson going to North Shore? I put that is a rumor, and it's a possibility. But as of now, first of all, for him to go to North Shore without any and be eligible, his father would have to be hired, right, full time. And as it stands, I'm quite sure, because Christian Gibson plays with the Houston Hoops. Well, head coach of North Shore is one of the coaches with the Houston Hoops. So now it just depends. If they can find a position for Christian Gibson's father, Joe Gibson, then it, in likelihood, as each day goes by, it's like one of those things, where you're going to go. Because I'm thinking if he goes there and somebody was to contest it, because he's eligible in all likelihood from the standpoint of going because his dad is hired. But if people try to attempt to contest it under the grounds of saying for basketball purposes, because this was his grassroots coach, and if indeed Woods is, sometimes you can coach under the umbrella, but not necessarily the team. So that's yet to be seen. But if they are the school to beat, when I talked to Joe Gibson about a week and a half ago, and he declined that wasn't in the bag. It's according to Joe. Now that was 2 weeks ago. Man, who knows? Like I said, but he didn't deny that he wouldn't turn down the job if given to him. So we'll see. And he would, we'll see how this goes. Like I said, it's barely June. Christian Gibson, remember, he did not play with anyone in the TABC, Adam. And because they have a new rule, you must be enrolled or cleared with your PAPF form in order to play with the school. Because in the past recent years, kids would go and just say, I'm going to West Side High School, and they would just suit up with the school and then make a mockery, taking time and minutes away from some other young lad. And you, next thing you know, when school starts, you're going somewhere else. You basically used that school as a prop in your personal seek of personal gain for recruitment. So that's it in regards to that. So if anybody else, I'm looking to see if anybody else had a question, y'all feel free to put
your homeboy put it like it was definitive.
Oh, okay. So it's done now. Remember, I just said I talked to him 2 weeks ago. I haven't talked to him since then. So if Kevin Freeman he's at North Shore, his dad has a job at North Shore.
That's Kevin Freeman. That ain't me talking.
Is that a question or a statement, Kevin Freeman?
He's that's what he's saying. Yeah, that's a good one. But the way it's a statement, the way it is, he's at North Shore. His dad has a job. He messed that part up. His dad has a job. Hey, you supposed to be a teacher, man. He messed it up again. He's would sign off on him. He was his coach. Kevin Freeman over there drunk, Jimmy. Come on, don't put that up there. I hate I put it up on the bed.
And so I
Oh,
will.
yeah, you know what? He said, because, hold up now, think about that. The person had to sign off from the other school, right? The coach from other school. The daddy is a coach from another school. He was.
The daddy, no. The daddy was the
Got to
coach of
be,
the other school.
but it's his coach, though. He was his coach. The new coach wasn't up on that. New coach ain't got no jurisdiction over this boy.
You no longer an employee. The athletic coordinator has to sign that thing. You no
But
longer
he had no jurisdiction over the boy because the boy ain't there no more. I'm just messing around, man. I'm just messing around. Yeah.
Yeah, and Herb Baker said that's what the kid, the kid
What's
who
his
played
name?
with Fury did that for Bel Air last year, and just to play with Bel Air and Sheldon them, and then jump back over to
What's that
our
little
college.
kid's name? I forgot his name.
Gill, BJ Gill.
Where he at now?
That's a good question.
Wait a minute. Whoa. That's right. You ain't been keeping up with these kids. Well, but maybe let me call Doug.
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Why is it a good question?
Well, because John Urie has spent ample amount of time publicizing and promoting other kids, and you were so adamant that this kid here was the best point guard in the state, as you stated several times. Then why would you not be not banging the drums on him in his most dire time of need? That's why it's like a wow moment. It's amazing how it's so many grown folk, which you know what, I get it, but at the same time, a lot of these kids don't get it until it's too late, and it messes with their mental. And some of these families are like, whereas they thinking that you really down and you really love these kids, and that's primarily because they're putting on your jerseys. But the minute they're gone, then all of a sudden you're necessarily not in love with what they're doing for you.
But Jimmy, that happens in life. Jimmy, those are life lessons. People come and go in your life all the time. That ain't nothing for you to be mentally going crazy for. You prepare in case kids you don't know, in case you didn't know, so your mentals won't be messed up. People come out of your life for the rest of your life. So prepare for it. Some people are in there for a reason. Some people are there for a season. And guess what? And it's okay. Everybody ain't in your life forever. So, I mean, John Urie was there for that moment. Now you got to find you another John Urie. That's all.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, but I tell people all the time, would you rather people be at the starting line or the finish line? And I'm thinking, because if you're in a time of need, the finish line is way more important, because you have a body of work that you have built the resume, and it's not talking on trajectory, what you can do, what you're gonna do. As you're in the 9th grade or the 10th grade, going into the 12th or after that 12th grade season, if somebody is putting all that energy towards the finish line, meaning as you enter the 12th grade, and that energy is there, and you're doing it with you're doing it in a transparent manner, whereas you're not over fabricating or overselling the talent, and that's important. And so, and then once a lot of coaches, you got to realize these coaches, we already talked about this. A lot of these coaches, this is not yesteryear. This is a new generation of young coaches that are transforming into the college ranks. So the ways that old school guys were taught to do it, these new school guys wasn't taught to get it out the mud and to recruit a certain way. Got to go. They have algorithms and apps at their fingertips. This is a big difference that accelerates the whole process. They have synergy. A lot of old school coaches didn't have the luxury or the benefit of something of such. So it's different now, very different. And meanwhile, I really believe that a lot of by doing so, a lot of these newer coaches, they rely heavily on that intel, which means they don't evaluate in the same facet as the OGs did. So so you gotta understand it's different now. Now, Heather, I got a pet peeve. Motherfucker, they go this. People, I mean, I had to calm myself down. Here's what I got. People had to question what, and it's a good question.
Okay.
I want your thoughts on it.
You funny, man.
Is at such events as like TABC,
Uh-huh.
right? The coaches, you see them on certain courts. People are questioning why isn't more people writing about other people that did good at the events, and during the games. Meaning some of the lesser designer name players, because it's most people mentioning the same players. Well, my thing is, if you're questioning that, and you're a third party, you're not a parent. I can get it if a parent, because they understand. First of all, if you're paying somebody to amplify, to serve as an amplifier to your music, then you need to rethink. And no coaches showed up at your games, because most of the time when these people solicit to you, then they tell you, I got this coach, I got that coach, everybody like you, everybody love you, and if you solicit and you paid them and nobody showed up, then that means that person has failed you. And that's up to you to keep paying them. That's on you. But if you already entered some type of agreement, and the person said, "Oh, maybe I'm gonna get you out there. I'm gonna get you these offers," and you played on court 34, it don't matter. You playing on 34. There's still one coach, and there's a bunch of coaches out there that loves to go against the grain. They're looking for somebody to tell them to go to court 34 at the other school when nobody else is there. I promise you that there are some coaches after they did their work, because many coaches ain't really looking for kids. They're just coming to fraternize. They're coming because the boss made them come. They're coming because they know some of their rivals in conference play is going to be there, and they don't want to. You have to be there. You don't want him to get access to everybody. You don't get access to none. And many other coaches are going to that event or events of such, so that they can keep the candles lit with the high school coaches. And they know they're going to get some bumps with grassroots coaches in the meantime, because most grassroots coaches or people that's representing most programs will be in the gym in that type of event. So you almost got to go for the most part. So that's the thing on that. So guys, if a person...
So Jimmy, help me out, because I want to clarify some stuff to us people who. So there's some people been around here complaining about the people not talking about other players, right? But the players that everybody else talking about. Jimmy, could it be that those players that everybody talking about is always consistently doing something good? Could it be? Could that be the reason? If those good players, the players that I'm talking about, he constantly showing up. So I should not talk about Adam Boyd, because every time I go, he doing something. So I got to say, well, I ain't gonna talk about Adam Boyd no more. I'm finna talk about Lil John. Lil John ain't been doing nothing. So what they expect for y'all to do? I mean, Jimmy, when did this happen? Jimmy, when did this happen? Did this happen a long time ago, man? I just want to know. Did this happen a long time ago? People used to get mad, talking about you ain't writing up, mad at people about not writing up about their kid.
Oh yeah.
So it's been going on.
Yeah, it didn't start.
But, no, I'm talking about the people who can't play. I'm talking about the people who are just not the most, the not notable person. People, they still mad.
You're good. You could be good, but your good don't mean that you're a Division I prospect.
Okay.
and those are Division I coaches for the most part. Now there were some JUCO coaches there, D2s were there,
Uh-huh.
D3s were there. There was a mixture of everything. NAIAs was there. So I get that. So my thing is, if you're not paying attention to those schools and you're not giving them the time of day, then why do you expect them to give you the time of day when you feel like you're in a time of need? Because those other guys ain't showing up. Now it's like, damn, ain't no coaches come. But then if those coaches came, are you seriously gonna let them recruit you? Are you going to give them a fair shot? And that's the question that remains unanswered. If you people understand something, I promise you, there were countless coaches that were in the building, countless that I grabbed by the arm. Hey man, what game you going to next? Hey, sit between the courts. If you're gonna be on court 2, stand between the courts. Look over at court 3. There's a kid gonna be playing over there. He's a 2027 or he's a 2028. You might like him because you might have a head job by then. So that's how I'm talking to the college coaches. And you mamas and dads don't have no freaking idea that people are working for you. Until I used to try to tell y'all all the time, ask some of the coaches. I just stopped doing it. Just stop doing it. Because it don't make sense because you're gonna believe who you're gonna believe at the end of the day, and there ain't no problem. I'm not trying to take credit for, but I guess at the same time, you want to be appreciated for what you're capable of doing. And I'm capable of getting the coach's attention. And a lot of those coaches, they know my track record, I'm not going to steer them to go. I'm not getting University of Texas to come watch some 5'2" kid in the 12th grade play. They know that. So the integrity of it has to remain solid because it's like crying wolf. If you don't do it and you're gonna get somebody to come see a kid play and he ain't nowhere near no Division I prospect just for your personal gain, that's to help you. It ain't to help the coach. I say this again. When you asking the coach or you telling the coach about a prospect, are you really will it really help the coach? Or does it help you and that kid more? If it's the latter, then you have to go and change your eyeball. That's the wrong type of coach. It has to be somewhere where all sides are equally being helped immediately if that kid has a good game. That's the thing.
That's weird.
So as we move forward, what happened? A lot of kids got offers, committable offers.
They did?
From TFC. So now most of those players will reunite with their grassroots teams during the live period, which is the July I want to say 9th or 10th, something like the 10th. And guess what? Then those coaches who saw you or even missed you, they will come and you will know because you should see them present during the live period. If they are serious, I could like you, but not want to. Do you buy everything you like, guys? Do you make an offer on everything that you like? There's a lot of things I go through the store I like. Man, I like that shirt. Oh man, I like them shoes. I ain't gonna buy. I ain't gonna pay that. I ain't buying. And there's some things, like now I like that, but I'm good. Think about it like that. So if they're coming to buy you, or to make an offer, or to strengthen it, because remember now, if they're not there at your game, guess where they're at? They're likely at somebody else's game. They don't have to come to all your games, but if they do come to all of your games, I promise you, you need to, and you see the head coach at your game more than once, you need to divert your attention from wherever it is and focus on that school. These people ain't playing. Their attention spans is this, and the window of opportunity has shrunk drastically in this recruiting realm or scam platform, put it like that. So be smart out there, guys. Be smart. And understand something. You can't fool. It's great that some of y'all hit 20 points, 25 points in your games. But those coaches know who you're playing against, more so who you're not playing against. Take it and run to the bank with it. But don't throw that in everybody's face. Your 25 against Birdville High School ain't the same 25 against Dynamic Prep. It ain't. It's not. So that's something to think about in regards to that. Uh, uh, we got coming up, of course, we got the GMI coming up, guys, in not this weekend, but next weekend. Grassroots coaches, we're using that as a platform as a tune-up for some team before they can shake the rust off. Many of your players, you done spent all this time learning, teaching them new plays and, and sets and everything. Guess what? Many of those kids probably done forgot that stuff now. This is when you can go back to the motions and recalibrate all of your players as you prepare to head into the live period. So we welcome you guys. You go to rcssports.com and you can list your team if you're interested in the GMI. This is George McClellan Invitational, and that will be July the 5th and the 6th. The 5th and the 6th. That's the day after the 4th of July and the day after that. Um, Also, the weekend after that, July the 12th and the 13th, I'm proud to announce that the only live event NCAA approved or NCAA certified boys event in the whole entire area will take place in Houston. The Big Bang Showcase uh, has been approved by the NCAA. This live period. So what that does, give a lot of college coaches the opportunity, especially them young ones, to come into Houston after they done saw everything they need to see. They can fly into Houston with legally. And you college coaches, Rick Nelson, uh, had a super idea with it and has a super idea with the college coaches package. He's gotten approval from at least three different bars that you guys or your armband, right, will be honored as VIP at about three different bars in Houston. So that means sometimes you want to get your code. I'm not gonna name them because I don't want your bosses to know where you possibly gonna be at because that Sunday afternoon is known as Sunday Fun Day, and in Houston, Sunday Fun Day. That's probably the best Sunday Fun Day in the entire United States. It goes down. Them young coaches know. They say it goes down in H Town on a Sunday. So that means now you get to come watch the ball hoops, get over to Sunday Fun Day, catch your late flight out, get on home that evening, and guess what? It's a win-win. Or you can get some work done from a player that you may have seen at another event, and they'll be probably flying back into Houston, and you might get a bump in at the airport. You might get and that's what I'm saying. You get that extra advantage by coming into H Town. Um, Well, yeah, big coach. I wasn't talking about Birdville per se. I just was using them as an example. But yeah, I did. But yes, now that I'm focused on it, I do mean that your 25 points against Birdville ain't the same as scoring 25 against a dynamic prep. That's just real talk. It ain't the same. If you score 25 points against Fur High School, it don't hit the same as you scoring 25 against Atascocita. It just is. It ain't. For example, when you have multiple Division I players on the floor and with length, teams with length, then that means a shot that you can get off against a little Opie. That stuff is going in the stands against other guys, or you might not be able to. You have to rethink that shot, that field goal attempt. So that's want to let you know. But it is. Uh, Almost that time. Soon as I get back, we'll land the plane. It is this baby Friday. Of course, You guys make sure you be safe out there over the weekend, and don't forget to go over to the VIP news on rcssports.com and check out all of the latest. And we mentioned the coaching jobs earlier. They have other coaches that have gotten head jobs as well. You can go and check out who they are, and as well as some of the afterthoughts from the TABC event. I definitely got nothing. Just that gray and the gray area. How there ain't a whole lot on on television on weekends. No more basketball. No more. You know, you got to wait on football now. It's WNBA. They're trying their best, but they have a doubleheader on TV tonight, right? On the Prime Network, a doubleheader, right? Indiana Fever, Washington, the LA Sparks, and the Vegas Aces. And guess what? All four of those teams have in common. None of them have a winning record. Not a single of the four teams have a winning record. And that's the doubleheader that's representing the WNBA tonight. But I guess what? You get to see Caitlin Clark if that's what you want to do.
She got hurt. And she got hurt. Again.
Again?
Yeah.
What happened to her this time?
Somebody told me, and I didn't think that women could have, they somebody has a groin injury. That was somebody told me. They might be lying. Oh, you ain't lying. Nobody got a winning record. You right. Poor girl.
Nobody got a winning record. That's remarkable. I mean, that's a wild moment right there. Thinking about that.
We'll see them. It's early in the season. They'll get back to. They'll get back to their, especially Aces. They're gonna get back.
Hey, give a shout out to Baylor, man.
What Baylor do?
Shout out to Baylor. But Baylor had to replace all 12 players on their roster after this past season. They had to replace all 12 players, and after the VJ Edgecombe was drafted last night, that makes 5 consecutive years that Baylor has had a player drafted in the first round. They're the only school that boasts that. I mean,
only school where?
Yeah.
Where? In Texas?
In the top 19. I'm sorry. Not the first round. That means the top 19 of the first round. 5 straight years.
That's cool.
Which is that's good for them. Good for the Bears in regards to that. Say, man, who's the GM of the Nets?
The Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Don't go there, Jim.
Is it Sean Marks still?
Yep. I saw him in the draft room last night. That man had all them picks, and that's what he picked. That man got all them picks from what's the boy name? Mikal. What's the boy name?
Bridges.
Mikal Bridges. And now he used all that. Yeah. I don't know what he was doing.
Dude, that's sad.
That man said, "Where do you think LJ will land?" First of all, we don't know where he'll land. First of all, he ain't no draft prospect, so we got to. He got to go.
He got to get in the summer. He gonna get in the summer league.
He got to get in the summer league first, and then.
Get out the mud.
Yeah, he got to get it out of the mud. So we can't never know where he'll land. We got to find out if what he do in the summer league will determine whether somebody want to bring him back to camp. That's all. Where do you think he would end up? That's not a good one.
Shout out to Second Baptist High School. They'll travel to Georgia, and they would participate in the live period. It's a second live period. So college coaches are going to be like for the TABC last week. Texas only has one. See, that's the thing I mentioned earlier. I hit on, Adam. We could have 2 of those in Texas. That way now, if you don't get on the main court at this city, you might get on the main court in another city and increase your odds.
So what it is just the Houston, the Houston area, I mean the Texas area coaches is just, what's wrong with them? What you think? They just apathy? They just don't know or don't care? If it ain't football, I don't care.
It ain't that. It ain't that. You really want to know? Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to know, and I can give you a hell of a theory
Yeah.
that people would deny it, but if you look at it and you look but and pull up the mat and just pay attention to it, then it's circumstantial. It short supports what I can tell you.
What's that?
Bottom line is, I just put it like this: without throwing them out there and making it seem like I'm shooting dead. It's not shooting a slug at all. There's a third party organization that everybody knows that does the scheduling and the organizing of the TABC basketball showcase. There's a third party that does that, that's been doing events in the grassroots sector for years, right? So that's why it's convenient to leave this, but in that third party, all of their home base is DFW. So that third party also have their own events, which one was taking place this coming weekend. So if they was to spend their energy at another TABC event, then you're leaving money on the table from your own event. So this is why I'm saying TABC can go and say, okay, well, we let y'all do this event, but there's other people in the state. It ain't got to be me.
Right.
You go get Hal Pastner. Ain't nobody scheduled more games than him in the past. I'm just over a period of time, over a career, or in one particular event. You know what I'm saying? So he's had 700 teams before. He don't know, and that was without software, without the exposure app. So I'm just saying. So you could go and get somebody to go and do the one in Houston. That way, so they're not going to. Otherwise, how do you get where I'm going? This is my theory as to why it got to be on a particular weekend, or it can't be on this weekend, or because it's an inconvenience.
Well, I don't blame
Which means, well, it's also an inconvenience to other people, though, because economically,
but it ain't inconvenience them, Jimmy. What you just said, if it affects their bottom line, I wouldn't do it either. If you're in the event business, you're a third party event operator. You're in the event to make money, just like you are and everybody else is. So, I wouldn't do nothing to damage my own event or to take money out of my own event. I wouldn't.
Okay,
I wouldn't.
That's great and fine for you, but the TABC is the entity that's over it. That's their event.
Well, then go get somebody else to do it.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, I still ain't gonna do it myself. So you're saying the onus is on the TABC?
Yes.
Okay.
They could go and get. There's enough qualified people that live in Houston.
But the question is why? Okay. The question is, TABC might not want to do it with nobody else. They might be in bed with these other folks.
That's your answer. There you go. Nice doing business with you.
It don't take me long when you give me a few facts. It ain't gonna take me long to figure people out.
Yeah, but they'll make all the other excuses where it ain't enough gyms, ain't enough this. Then I start paying attention. Like, wait a minute, you can't do it on another weekend because they got an event on that weekend.
Them folks that told them no, man, we in this together. We ain't doing that. Yeah, them folks. Yeah, come on. Yeah, them folks. Yeah, that's the play. Hey, good play. I would have made the play too. If I was in that position of power, I would have made the play. That's the play. Hold up. Like the Godfather said, Tessio was always the smartest. Because he told me, I thought it would be Clemenza. He said, no. This business, Tessio was always the smart. That was the best move. Them people said, man, hold up, man. I like that, though. Now we got to figure out how we can get in power. That's all.
Well, that's the whole thing. That's what I'm saying. It would take for the organization, meaning the Houston Area Basketball Coaches Association.
They're going to have to get up off their behind.
Collectively, sit down and say, man, we need a meeting with you. We get it, but and TABC and the president of TABC lives in Houston. So that's the thing that makes it worse. He lives in Houston.
But if he in bed with somebody else, Jimmy, he gonna be in bed with him, Jimmy.
And nobody is upset inside the loop with that part. You could go and you're leaving money on the table. And who's going to say, well, we don't need more money on the table? Know what that means, Adam? That's more scholarships you can give from the Texas Association of Basketball Coaches. They give scholarships. They do. They give scholarships during their annual convention. So
Jimmy, what if they paid not to even take it to a vote? Jimmy, they might be getting something. Man, it's so much stuff can go. Boy, you see, you're going to open my mind up to a whole lot of other stuff can be happening. Man, them same people saying, man, like you said, we leaving money on the table. How much money we leaving on the table? Here you go. All right, now, let's quit talking about that. You got you some scholarship money here. Now, okay, we ain't having that because we're going to have my event. That's how business is done.
Yeah, because understand, like you're saying, you're paying attention. You're looking deeper into it. If you got a grassroots event and TABC is going on the same weekend, those kids are going to play with their high school teams. They're going to. So that means your teams, the high school level teams, is going to be minimized because you won't have nobody to play because they all gonna be playing with. Most of them be playing with their high school teams. So therefore, you can't shoot yourself.
No, I understand.
Shoot your ally.
That's a good one.
So that's what happens.
I like that. I mean, I understand. But hey, it's up to them guys. If they want to have something in their own city, they're gonna have to figure it out. It's above my pay grade.
That's the thing. You're waiting for them. You're waiting for TAB to say, "Okay, let's do one down there." No, you got to come and do the homework and keep going. It's okay, Jim. Sometimes before you take something to the big meeting, you got to have a sequence of small meetings to collect intel. That way, now you come into the meeting when you go to. And I told anybody help now. You can tell I'm an advocate for it because I know, just like it's winning and it's a hit in Dallas, it would be a hit in Houston.
Absolutely, it would.
Because you would get a whole flock of teams from South Louisiana, Central to South Louisiana, that's going to now flood into that Houston event.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're going to get a flock of teams from South Texas that you didn't get, the Missions and the McAllens. I'm just saying, I'm just paraphrasing, throwing it out there. You would get them to come into Houston, and it would not be 533 teams, but I guarantee you're going to get 300 teams for sure. So that's what it would do, and that means that's revenue from those teams, and those parents would move the needle and get you an extra bump just from coming in the gym one extra weekend. But if TABC,
that's good, man.
If y'all wanted, like I say, you want tips, you don't do events. There are people in Houston that has done events fluently. You pick the brain, and I can show you guys how HAPCA can win off of this, as well as TABC. I promise you, I can show you ways, and because there's so much milk that can come from.
Oh, Jimmy, he said they're not allowing non-Texas team.
That's their decision, but you can change
it if you want. Okay, I got you.
Think about it. As I just said, Second Baptist is going to Georgia. They're playing in Georgia this weekend.
Yeah.
So you 4 games.
There you go. That's good. But I got to get out of here, Jimmy. I like this.
State Jesuit is going to Arizona this weekend. They're going to play in Arizona.
But Jimmy, you said something a long time ago. Y'all do stuff different down here in Texas.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna do one more thing. We're gonna slide down Dino's back.
We out of here.
You guys, hey, talk to your local high school coach, pick his brain, ask him why.
Yeah,
and
that's a good one.
That's like politics. Ask your high school coach why aren't they pushing for this?
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then see what their response is. And then that's what you do. Hold them accountable.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can hold you guys accountable to share this show on your way out the door. Hit that share button, share it to your groups, to your platforms, because one thing about it, we put something on your mind, and then you can go give you enough energy to put something on somebody else's mind. And that's one good topic right there to take into the weekend. See you guys on Monday. We up out of here. Peace. Chop shop.
I like it.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live.